On Saturday, Chris Rock headlined the Netflix first ever live stream event, a comedy special called Chris Rock's Selective Outrage, a title he revealed to be a connection to the 1-year anniversary of the Will Smith slap. Now, though he said growing up, he grew up loving and rooting for Will, Rock took time in his routine to slam him and his marriage for bringing him to their drama. Listen.
And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears. Will Smith practices selective outrage. Everybody that really knows I had nothing to do with that. I didn't have any entanglements. And then for people that don't know, and everybody knows, his wife was her son's friend. Now, I normally would not talk about this shit, but for some reason, these put that shit on the internet. I have no idea why two talented people would do something that fucking low down. Everybody in here have been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television.
Larity.
She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Everybody called that man a called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a and who's he hit? Me.
Woo! Well, Chris
genius.
went on. Yeah, he went on to talk about the history with Jada and where the drama actually began.
Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because Will didn't get nominated for concussion. What the so then I do some jokes about her. Who gives a That's how it is. She starts it, I finish it, okay? Nobody's picking on this She started the Nobody was picking on her. She said, a grown-ass man should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for concussion. And then this gives me a concussion, okay? I love Will Smith. My whole life, I love this. He's made some great movies. I have rooted for Will Smith my whole life. And now, I watch Emancipation just to see him get whooped. Got me rooting for Massa, okay? And a lot of people go, Chris, how come you didn't do nothing back? Because I got parents. Because I was raised. And you know what my parents taught me? Don't fight in front of white people.
Genius.
Yeah, dog.
Oh, genius. Yeah. And that's just me as a comic myself. Special K, you're a comic. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think he pulled it together nicely. He pulled it together brilliantly, and he said what he needed to say. And he let him know. I said it. And he's standing on it.
I thought it was great. I thought he had so many hilarious moments outside of the Will Smith thing. I think even if he didn't talk about that, it was a really good special. And also, Ricky, I'm surprised at how polarizing the opinions are. Like, people are either way to the left or way to the right. They hated it or they loved it. So I thought that was really interesting, too.
Gary.
I watched some of it last night. I like Chris Rock as a comedian, but I thought that he was very disrespectful to Jada by calling her out of her name, for one thing, and I think it was calculating. How dare he wait a year to do this and make all that money he made on this stuff? He should have came out and said what the hell went down.
Well, I mean, everybody have to do their hurt in their own time, Gary, don't you think?
Yeah, but Ricky, your hurt in your own time, it just cost you $40 million, but yeah, that's good. Huh?
And you know what, Ricky? Also, Jada is from Baltimore. I was trying to figure out why did he do it in Baltimore. So a lot of folks online were saying that was kind of shady that he did it in her hometown.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna go all the way in, go do it right in your backyard.
Right. My friend Noelle said she laughed 4 times. That was it.
She
laughed 4 times.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was genius. I thought it was a good clap back and a good punch back. In my opinion. What you think, Rock?
Yeah, man. I thought it was. I mean, he was being Chris Rock. He was being himself. I liked it.
All right, let's go to the phones. 866-9 Ricky. Good morning.
I think Chris Rock had a great comeback. He was right on point with everything, and I'm ready to see him again.
Hey, this is Babalo calling from the Queen City. I think Chris Rock did a great job with this show. He proved his point. Everything that he said was absolutely true. I think Jello had Will Smith tied up, but he definitely he told the truth.
Oh, he was right on point, and he was also right to wait to get paid. Yes,
he was on point with that. That's all I got to say.
This what it is, my opinion. Ricky, Rock T, Special K, even you, Gary. We men first. Me personally, I think he went hard. It was fair game. He represented himself. I'll tell you, most of what I love about Chris Rock, he was a man. It's very, very rare you meet a man like him. I don't know if I would have stood up there like that, though. I don't know if I could have stood there as being the man that he was, but he represented and showed me. He reminded me what a real man was.
Oh, man, that was a good one right there. We appreciate that call. Good morning.
Mixed thoughts. Some of it was funny, some of it was kind of corny, which I always feel about his stuff. I felt like he really went out to attack black women a lot. Nobody's really talking about that. A lot of his jokes was attacking black women. And then he should be thanking Will Smith. Actually, he made him relevant again. Nobody was going to his comedy shows. White people made him the victim because they love tearing down a black man who has been seen as unproblematic. This is their chance to tear down Will Smith, and he's riding that wave because he's making money off of it. And let's be honest, there are men out there that have been accused of being abusive to women who have asked for grace and moved on, yet they're still trying to crucify Will Smith for one slap when he's been largely unproblematic. So that's my thought.
Special K, what are your thoughts on that call?
On one slap? Really? He slapped him on the Oscars.
Yeah, that was a slap heard seen by the world.
Slap heard around the world. Yeah,
that wasn't a slap inside a wall in the back of Walgreens.
It ain't like he slapped him outside of a pool wall. He slapped him
so
on the
she said that he was attacking black women. What did he? I didn't see the whole special.
Because he called her out of her name, but
he didn't have to do that. It could have still been funny without him doing that.
But he probably still has a lot of anger about the situation, and he's angry at her, and he was being real true to himself.
And it's comedy.
And it's comedy.
At the end of the day, it's comedy.
And maybe he felt like that.
Because he made jokes about himself, right? You know, he talked about being Pookie on New Jack City. He talked about Will
not doing scenes with his shirt off, and I mean.
Y'all didn't feel like any part of that was a little bit of venting, though? There was a little bit of passion behind that and not necessarily jokes?
But in that moment, he felt like that word was appropriate, and he threw it in there, you know? He wanted it to hurt. He wanted her to feel some of what he felt when he got slapped in front of the world.
Well, black women are really united on stuff like that. They feel like you call one black woman out of her name, and I say as myself, as a black woman, I don't think it was necessary for him to say that. He could have created just as much of a sting without calling her out of her name.
So he could have said this chick.
He could have said anything.
But when you're writing a joke, when you're doing comedy, you use certain words
that's
for certain
funny.
emphasis.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how it might have made black women feel in that moment. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but you know, comedians do it all the time. Yeah. You know, I mean, every single weekend. I'm talking about Lavelle Crawford, Earthquake,
General conversation.
Right.
But, you know, on stage, I might say it to emphasize a joke.
Right. I can break down a joke right now to show you why the word "be" could be used to make the joke sound funnier. Whatever. I'll break that down for you. I definitely understand what you're saying, but I don't know if it's not a stretch to say that he was just going on an attack on black women, because to me, it seemed like he was going after Will Smith like hard. He made Will Smith seem like a B-A-N, if you know what I'm saying.
If he used that word at all, he should have used it to reference Will Smith, not his wife.
I think he did, didn't he, Kay?
He did. He talked about how all these different people were calling Will Smith the B word,
But you know the difference between you or Ricky using the B word on stage for a joke and make that connection. He has a personal beef. It's personal with him, so that's why I think it felt like, you know, more of an attack on black women.
No, it was an attack on Jada Pinkett Smith,
who was a black woman.
No, it was on her in particular. She happens to be a black woman, but it was an attack on her. He felt animus toward her.